Okay, I'm not a huge fan of unboxings myself, so I'm going to open this thing up. Super excited about this, and then we're going to hear it together for the first time. All right, check this out. Oh. What do we have here? I think the shape is it's a giveaway. Oh wow. Now that looks like the real thing. Okay, so a few days ago, I found out that Charlie Pedals had made an NKT275 Red Dot Fuzz Face. And that's something I've been wanting. It doesn't come around that often. These things are difficult to get. So I was intrigued. It's just arrived. Cannot wait to hear what it sounds like. Let's plug it into one of these amps, get a Strat, and hear this. Okay, of course it needs a battery, so I thought we might as well have a quick look on the inside. And this has got to be one of the neatest fuzz pedal builds I've ever seen, especially in these big Fuzz Face. That is just awesome. Absolutely great work. Okay, so you can see these are the NKT275 proper red dots. These are the real thing. There's always a lot of controversy around these parts. There have been pedals that say they're these transistors when they're actually not quite what they're supposed to be, but I know that with Charlie Pedals and what everyone else has told me, this is going to be absolutely the real thing. This just looks so neat. Right, okay, it looks good, but let's just turn those two dials all the way up, plug it into an amp, see what it sounds like. I cannot get this screw back in the bloody thing. Charlie? No. Every different big Fuzz Face enclosure I've had has a different mechanism for getting the screw in nicely. This one, I don't know if it's super accurate, maybe it is. But that took me 5 minutes off camera, so I think I'm just rubbish at putting these things on. Okay, we're going for the classic reverb. It's probably my favorite amp at the moment, and it's in the black face setting here, which is the bottom one. I love that little bit of scoop. You know, the other two settings are more pushed in the mids, and I love that vintage character. And I've got the gain like past 2 o'clock. This is the 40 watt version, so it's not crazy loud, although I've got used to it. And it's a fair bit quieter in that bottom gain structure, which is great. But you have to push that gain unless you're using an overdrive pedal with a fuzz. And then it should work fine. Let's see how mental this thing gets. Okay, I have to unplug one of my current favorite pedals. There's a video about this coming this week. This is the Reeves ZO, which is just brilliant. Don't forget, these proper vintage style Fuzz Faces have the wrong way around thing. So it's another reason why they're so convenient, and you see them on every pedal board. Right, turn that fuzz up, turn that volume up. We're going to start with it on full. Okay, amp only. Turn that volume halfway back, stick this on. yeah, that was exciting. Let's do that again. That's fuzz on full and volume just below full. Yeah, that is ridiculous. It's amazing. That is the fuzz sound probably always had in my head, and it's maybe the closest I've ever got to it. I can't wait to sort of compare it to some other Fuzz Faces that I've got, but for the Jimi Hendrix, for all that sort of gnarly over-the-top Fuzz Face stuff, this pedal is absolutely unbelievably brilliant. And you know, I can't talk for all NKT Red Dot 275s, but you know, if that's what they're supposed to be like, then I can see what all the fuss is about. I personally think the fuzz maker has a lot to do with it in every, you know, case, whatever fuzz maker you're going for. I mean, bear in mind that back in the day when Jimi Hendrix would order fuzz pedals, he'd order loads of them and he'd go through them, you know, one after the other, and just pick the one or two good ones out of there. And these guys who are selling these pedals, you know, for a reasonably high price, this was around 750 quid, which when you consider the man hours involved in painting these cases, aging them, you know, these are finished, you know, by hand. They're all painted by hand and sanded and then aged and scuffed, and then finding the parts and then going through the transistors to find the ones that actually work. And then, you know, just that meticulous wiring that looks so good and sounds so good, and then biasing it all so it sounds the way you want. And Charlie asked me, you know, what sort of temperature my room is so he could bias it correctly for me. And you know, it's a lot of work. So, you know, I don't think people are getting rich off selling one-off fuzz pedals like this. I do think they do it for the passion and the love. And Charlie was really excited this morning to hear some clips from me, and you know, happy that I love it. So this is worth the price to me, because that's like an instrument. It's like having an amp or a guitar. You know, it adds a whole texture and sound that you can't otherwise get, and something that I can use a lot. So if you're ever looking for a great fuzz pedal, I'd recommend looking for some of these small makers. I'm going to do a video with a couple of other small makers in the next couple of weeks, including this pedal again, to compare. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, please subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to go and play some more of that, and yeah, see you soon.